Spriken life. Placeholder intro. Hey, you're back. I knew you would come back. Thank you. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get back into this custom project. April, the Avro Arrow. Behold, the perils and pitfalls of trying to do things in wintertime. Okay, so that's not really showing you anything besides a super bright window. So in order to airbrush all my parts with various wonderful colors and primer, I need to filter all out the particles of anything nasty if I'm going to be using any kind of acrylic lacquer stuff or whatever. Gotta shoot it out through this cheap paint booth outside and open the window. But you see, the problem with opening the window in the winter, it's gonna be super cold. And I turned off my heat because it sounds horrible when it's on and I'm videoing things. Videoing? Doesn't seem like the right word. So yeah, I'm gonna do it really quickly, and I'm not gonna show priming up all the parts because obviously it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll just show you spraying one or two parts with the primer so you can see that's very easy. It's time for the scariest part of painting with an airbrush in my home, and that is the turning on of the compressor. It's scary because it's so loud, and I always think it's gonna blow up and destroy my house and kill me. So, here goes nothing. Brace your ears, you've been warned. Is it done yet? We're all okay? All of the pieces have been primed and are ready for painting. And I even primed some spoons, which is very important because we're going to test swatch some hair color ideas. It's all separated in there. Yeah, so we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Well, be careful, this could make a mess. And we're going to get our trusty toothpick and cup. And the best way to pour these, I find, is... Let's see if I can do it this way. You just pour it down the toothpick. As much as you need in there. And it helps you... It helps so that you don't make a mess of things. So we're just going to hit this with a little bit of thinner, a touch, since we don't really have much in here. Then we're going to give this a stir. Now let's fire up the old paint booth. Ah, my window's stuck. Oh, it is cold. Here we go. See what this brown gives us. Thin coats. Or I could just go nuts. Go ham. I actually had some luck with this Mr. Color 7 brown. Somehow it turned out to be the loveliest red brown that I've ever seen. This is a really super color. Might not be able to tell with the ghost lighting I have going on in here, but this is a lovely reddish brown. It doesn't even say it's a reddish brown, it just says it's a brown. So I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me or the lighting in here is funny, but I think this color is actually going to be perfect. Time to paint. Here is our color set for this kit. Alright, so the main body of white is going to be just Mr. Color white, gloss I believe, number 1. Our hair color is this nice gloss brown, number 7. Then from the AK paint line we have gunmetal for various metal-y parts, obviously. Flat black is the black we're using. For the main armor of red, we're using signal red. And that other AK red, I don't think we're actually using, so I'll take that out. For metal highlight stuff, we're using Vallejo Model Air Silver. And then for the skirt that we'll be hand painting, we're using these Citadel paints. We have Mephisto Red, Warboss Green, Castellan Green, and Assylian Green. This is the part of the video where I kindly ask you to like and subscribe. But only if you want to. Would be nice though. This project is taking forever. Working on it bit by bit over weeks. It's kind of rough. And I kind of forget what the heck I'm doing in the video. All continuity is lost. But we know that we have some more white pieces to touch up because I wasn't pleased with the coverage. That's what happens when you have this crappy, weird lighting. Things can throw you off. Some semi-finished bits over here. At least I did the skirt. That's completed. I still need to do some stuff on the hair and mask some bits, like from the wings and stuff, for painting black and red. And then we should be able to put it together for a initial top coat before we put on decals and stuff. That is where we are now. That's where we stand. Oh boy, did we screw this one up. Now, no need to panic. All the other hair parts are intact and fine. We will have to repaint this, the base color, and then I think we'll need to clear coat to protect the work before we do anything else on it. It's that time for top coat. All the parts are painted, and I don't know what time it is. I'm really greasy and wearing the same thing for days on end, but I gotta complete this. So it's time to give these parts a top coat. And at this point, I don't care where I do it. I'm gonna do it in my house, down by the door. Wahaha! Help me. We're in the home stretch. Yoink. Ooh, super quick view. The parts are all ready for decals and top coat. We got the pile of decals ready to go. We have the face plates that have been selected. I grabbed a couple of the Baihu face plates because I have 2 of those kits, and I figured I could make use of them. I don't really like them in particular as is, so I won't miss them. And since I have a duplicate set, it's okay. We're going to be using these nice green eyes and maybe some comical mouth. You'll see. Ah, battery's running out. So quickly, I'm going to be using Mr. Mark Setter and Mark Softer to put on the decals, and I'll show you how. Top coating I'm using, top coat I'm using is just a flat matte from Mr. Hobby. So yeah, let's do the face first. Okay, I need to show you how to take off these existing eyes and such and put on new ones. Let's do it. First thing you need to do in order to take off these pretty eyes is get a little container of some sort where you're going to be putting some thinner in. And for thinner, you can use any thinner, really. I have some AK high compatibility. Yeah, I have this. I have some Mr. Color or Tamiya thinner. Any of these thinners for acrylic paint will work. So use what you got. And you don't need much, but you will need a few Q-tips. So yeah, I have my AK thinner in here. Just gonna dump a bit. And we're going to dunk our Q-tip in there. And then we'll see if this can focus. We're just going to rub back and forth in all kinds of ways. This eye. Exciting stuff, huh? Some color is coming off on the Q-tip, and the eye is starting to vanish. This is kind of a annoying process because it's a bit slow, and you have to just keep at it back and forth. So as you can see here, one eye is almost completely gone, but I do have a tiny bit of the eye left right down in this bottom corner. I'm not sure if you can see, but yeah, that's where a toothpick could come in handy to help you scrape it out. Or if you have these little Q-tips that have the pointed edge, that could also be handy. There's our faces, all nice and cleaned and fresh, ready for new peepers. Yeah, very nice. Now I suggest before you go putting on decals, make sure the faces are clean. So we just slathered on the thinner to get the eyes off. And it didn't take long. like 5-10 minutes. And yeah, I just gave them a quick rinse to make sure they're nice and clean, no thinners left on. And we're going to decide on the decals now. We may end up using one of these licking lip mouths, or just a closed one. We'll use something. Oh yeah, but for the eyes, yeah, we're going to use like one of these. Whoop. Ah! The heat came on. Yeah, or maybe one of these sets. Oh yeah, also what we need is tweezers. Forgot to mention before. Ooh. So we first are going to put on some, if this can focus, some Mark Setter. Mr. Mark Setter. This will help it to cling to our surface. But before we do that, we're going to take one of the eyes. Let's do the right eye first. And we're just going to dunk it in this water here, and then rest it, rest it, Ugh. Yeah. Ah, keeps getting sucked in. Maybe I put too much water there. I want to rest it on the side. This is a bad joke at this point. Yep, I'm kind of... There we go. Oh, that was an ordeal. We're just going to take a tiny bit of this Mark Setter, and we're just going to dab our eye. Just that simple. And now comes the kind of tricky part. I'm going to get a nice pointed Q-tip, and I'm going to guide it onto my thing. Now it's pretty wet, so we don't want all that water. So I'm just going to dab it with the Q-tip. Now let's transfer it on. Wish me luck. Whoop. We got a lot of water there on the eye. So our Q-tip is going to help soak that back up. Just dab it again with our setter. Here we go. On goes the eye. Okay, we're going to discard that straight away, and we're going to pick it up and go into positioning it where we want. Now it's kind of tricky, I find, when we don't have any other eye on, because we don't know what to compare it to, but we're going to try and get it in the slot the best we can. The natural eye divot there. I think we have some success. Okay. Here comes eye decal number 2. Soak up as much water on it as I can. And the idea is not to screw up the other eye in some way while trying to put this one on. Oh, I'm getting there. This is when things can get a little scary. I think I got some good position here. I think I'm happy with this. But I now must put some marks softer on to get them to adhere as best as possible, because I don't know if you can see, one of the decals on this side is slightly raised up, the eyelash coming off, so it's not completely flush. So we're going to want to pin that down. So our eyes should be dry now. Let's put on some Mark Softer. This will help it to cling better to the surface, kind of soften the decal down into the plastic and kind of get rid of the outline of the decal a little bit. So we're going to dunk it in a little, not too much. We don't want to saturate this thing and move around the decals. And we're just going to touch it over top, especially where the decal looked raised. And if we feel there's a bit too much, we'll just dab with the Q-tip. Don't be scared to try putting on water slide decals, folks. Anybody can do it. We did it! Yeah! We have completed April, the Avro Arrow. And she's looking good beside her older sister. There's some slight differences in upgrades. Very slight. Ever so slight. Super slight. And that is, on this newer version, I didn't do any panel line. Now, reason being is I was short on my top coat spray, so I wasn't entirely confident of the coverage. So I didn't want to put any panel line wash just in case when I tried to remove any excess it would stain or ruin the paint job underneath. It doesn't make that big of a difference when comparing side by side. Honestly, it just kind of looks a little bit cleaner than the Mark I Avro, the Avro Arrow. Anyways, we're going to do a spin and show you the nice before and after and some comparison shots. So let's put on some cool music and have a look at the finished product. Oh boy, I think it took about 3 weeks, maybe more, give or take. So about a month. And that was not working super consistently because of work and other responsibilities. But it wasn't too bad. A lot of things I've learned trying to do this video. And that is, the longer it takes, the harder it is to figure out the continuity in things and what I'm doing and what I'm showing. The important thing is, we did it. We made it to the finish line. We made another Avro Arrow, and she looks great and super cute. Super easy too. Nothing I did was fantastical or crazy. So what did you enjoy most about this whole process? What do you think came out looking nicest or coolest, or what looks the most fun? And also, what are you working on? What have you created? I want to see. So go to our Facebook group, Mecha Girl Modelers HQ, or Mecha Girl HQ Modelers? No, Mecha Girl Modelers HQ. It'll be in the description, so you just go there. And yeah, share your custom works, share your non-custom works, share whatever you do. If you just build, or if you paint, customize, we want to see it, because it helps us all enjoy this hobby, and yeah, things are always better when you share. This is true. If you like what you see, please leave a like. That'd be very nice. And think about subscribing. That'd also be cool. A lot of you have, and it makes me, oh, so cozy and nice. And I feel so lucky and happy that you are. I think that's it. We did it. And we're going to do more. So, I'm Mr. Spriken here at Spriken Studios. Yeah! Thanking you, the people. And looking forward to you coming back and watching me again. Super phlegm today. Bye, peeps. Spriken Life. Placeholder outro. Yeah. Like and subscribe.